Heidi-ho, everybody. This is Postmortem Nightshade, and sadly, the last review I'll be bringing to you this holiday week is a movie I've been absolutely dreading. That's right, we're talking about Minions and Monsters. This is the third installment, if you can believe it, in the solo Minions movies, and was directed by Pierre Coffin, who is actually the same director that has done all of the other Despicable Me and Minions movies up until this point. He is also the iconic voice for the Minions, so needless to say, Pierre Coffin has made a legacy for himself in the world of animation. For better or worse, that's up to you. This Minions movie also has a baffling cast that includes Christoph Waltz, Jesse Eisenberg, Allison Janney, Jeff Bridges, and Zoe Dutch, who also starred in the other film I reviewed this week, Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity SEX Pass. Check that out on the channel, I have the review up if you're interested. But what's funny to me is that Minions and the Gail Daughtry movie are two of the most similar and yet wildly different films that have come out this year, and they both happen to come out in the same weekend. Also, between Dracula A Love Tale, coming out earlier this year, and Minions and Monsters, I think it is clear that 2026 is the year of Christoph Waltz simply getting his check, because his movie roles have just baffled me completely beyond belief. All my thoughts, though, regarding the casting aside, you may be wondering, did Minions, in their third solo movie, manage to turn it all around and become as awe-inspiring as a Pixar film? Well, fortunately for you, and unfortunately for me, I'm here to tell you that definitely isn't the case. This film barely runs at 1 hour and 29 minutes, and boy oh boy, I for sure thought when I checked that the runtime was going to say at least 1 hour and 45 minutes. But no, even with the briefest of runtimes, they couldn't make this experience pass any faster for me than at a snail's pace. It genuinely felt like the writers of this film only had enough material for a Minions short film, but tried to stretch it out to a full-length movie anyways. The plot and legs this movie is standing on are paper thin. The first half of the movie was just a wash, rinse, and repeat of previous Minions films, and the last half felt like a completely different film from the first half. This definitely wasn't helped by the fact that they don't introduce the villains of this film until the last third of the movie. They also tried to get us to care about the main Minions in this film. Also, take a shot every time I say Minions. Actually, don't, but just saying. I'm so sorry for how many times I'm saying Minions. But they do try to get us to care about the main Minions of this movie, but I unfortunately can't tell them apart from the Minions who were the leads in the other films, so that's kind of problematic when you're trying to get me to connect with your characters. The animation, score, and soundtrack for this one are standard Illumination at this point. The theming is nothing new either, and the humor hasn't changed one bit. Shocker there. It has always been odd to me that they would take characters like the Minions, who are not only difficult to understand and tell apart, but that just don't really carry a movie better than as being cute side characters. But I guess, it doesn't matter. They put them as leads of a film, hoping that it would draw in crowds and crowds of people, which these movies do make a lot of money, so maybe I'm just out of the loop, I guess. Honestly, though, at this point, no matter what the execs do or how much money these movies make, not only do I personally have Minions fatigue, I also feel like I'm living through a fever dream every time I have to sit through another Minions film, because the world and the stories genuinely are so incomprehensible at this point, I just don't even try to keep up anymore. I will say, I do like that they attempt to introduce kids to traditional sci-fi concepts and characters, and I actually liked Dorth the Robot character, but again, he isn't really introduced until the last third of the film. Genuinely, maybe if they had focused more on putting the sci-fi concepts and characters throughout the whole movie, I may have liked this one more. But as it stands right now, this film sits in the "Hey Heidi, no," and a "Hey Heidi, no really, maybe just stop, please, for my sake, just stop" categories. I guess I'm just happy to say, at least watching this one is over with. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of this latest Minions film? Are you a fan of the Minions, or do you think it is finally time that Illumination retire these characters? We can all hope, right? Thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and if you'd like to follow along on my movie review journey, please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all very soon.